Hello there, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the show. It's the Minority Report, episode 10. And ladies and gentlemen, see, yeah, today's going to be a special show, but I'm not in the habit of, uh,
Tony, the internet seems a little bit dodgy.
sometimes you just, yeah. Okay, can you see me now? Can you hear me now? Deji.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So today is Dejispurs' second trial. Deji, you're welcome to the show, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, it's clear, Tony Clo, that you're having a better day than me. I'm having a shit day, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've had better days, I've had better weeks. Um, yeah, I'm in a different place right now. I'm in a more thoughtful place, reflecting on my team. We got trolls in the building. MK the Don. Anyway, I want to deal with you on a
Keep
weekend.
it
And
done.
but yeah, man, let's just kind of get into it. You know what I mean? Obviously, you guys are riding high. You were a bit fortunate against Leeds, and Spurs were unlucky against United yesterday. So yeah, I know we're gonna have an opportunity to get in it, and I'll let you know my thoughts.
Yeah. See, Deji. Let's put Arsenal aside because we're not on the same pedestal right now. Arsenal is sitting at the summit down there in the Premiership, but somehow Tottenham Hotspurs have been grinding out results this season. And then you get to Manchester United and you just drop the ball.
Now, if I can be honest with you, if I can be brutally honest, because I was uh, thinking about this as well before I came on the show.
Guy
It's not Tottenham dropping the
just
ball.
dropped it. They just yeah,
If I can be honest with you, it's not Tottenham dropping
like
the ball. It's Conte dropping the ball. And I can explain why it's Conte dropping the ball. For me, if you wanna show big time and you want to show that you've made an improvement in the team, one of the
yeah,
reasons why I was angry with the Arsenal result is because we didn't have a crack at it. Chelsea, we
yeah,
didn't have a crack, but we still had more. We still had a few chances, but we had a little bit of a goal. Against you guys, we didn't have a goal. Against United, we definitely didn't have a goal. I mean, we were so deep; it was deep like the Red Sea. The only thing I can say to you is this, and I think we need to acknowledge that we've played Chelsea away, you guys away, United away. So any away game in the Premier League, is difficult. It'll be interesting to see if you guys get those same results against Spurs at our ground. What I will say though is I'm disappointed in Conte and I'm disappointed in the tactics. When you've got strikers such as Kane and Son, you can't play the game so deep that these guys are so far from goal that they don't even have a single shot on goal. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense. And I think for me, the biggest disappointment was that Conte, for me, he let the players down, he let the side down because he was so
yeah,
risk adverse that he just didn't have a crack at the game. He just didn't give those poor players a chance. And one of the things I was reflecting on after the game was Conte talks a lot about the players needing to suffer. But what I
yeah,
didn't realize is that it meant that he wanted them to run around like Kenyan marathon runners. Because if you haven't got the ball, if you
Oh
haven't
my
got the
god.
ball, you've turned into a long distance runner. That's really what it is. Um, so I was bitterly disappointed, and for me, it was a shocking performance, and I have to put the blame on Conte because those players want to play football, but at the same time, they've got to go with the strategy and the tactics that the managers told them to do. If they don't do
That the
that, they don't
manager
get
puts
played.
forward.
Yeah, and if they don't do it, they don't get played. And that was woeful. I don't mind losing. But it's a bit like 50 Cent. We're all gonna die someday. But it's either get rich or die trying. Do you get what I'm saying? Get rich or die trying. And for me, I
Okay,
want
Deji.
Tottenham. You know, you
But
gotta
but
die
Deji,
trying. Get rich or die trying.
but Deji, don't you think you guys sat so deep in that match? Like you guys were so deep.
It
Like
was too deep.
when
It
you
was too.
have a Son and a Kane in that team, you should be having a go at teams. You should be running up teams. Like
I
just
Tony,
shocking.
I didn't think that me and you would agree so early into the Minority Report series. But at episode 10, I'm having to
Yeah.
sit here and say I agree. It was a disgrace for me. And the other thing that I find that Conte is not a master tactician. For me, I like youth. I think that youth bring energy and a whole nother level. You saw the youth that Man United tried to bring in starting Sancho. For me, why isn't Sessegnon starting? Especially when they're up against Anthony, they're up against a Saka. I want to see youth versus youth, not Saka against Perisic, not Anthony against Perisic. It's a mismatch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's like me running against an 18-year-old sprinter. It's not gonna work. Yeah, I'm too old. Back in the day, yes, I could take anyone on, but now I'm not as quick as I used to be. I also want to see Jed Spence, Matt Doherty, aka Justin Timberlake. The only thing I like is his haircut, his fade. He's dead food, man. He's been dead food. Why won't he let Jed Spence play? Let us see him for ourselves. If he's crap, we will see. But you got to give him the same opportunity like you're giving everyone else. And I think his negative tactics is not helping Basuma. He wants Basuma to be a defensive midfielder. Basuma is not a defensive midfielder. He is a box-to-box midfielder. Release the shackles. Release the shackles, Pontius Pilate, and let the boy play. Let them play. Now, I told you, I said if he doesn't play Jed Spence,
Yeah.
Basuma, and Session, we deserve what comes next. And he hasn't done it, and we are flopping. And I'm going to say, I hope that we continue to flop until he starts Jed Spence and sees what I've been talking about.
But see here, Deji. See here, Deji. Look, see. You came out at the start of the season, with all them chests and them tits, and you were saying, Tottenham at Spurs, we're gonna win the league this season or win the Champions League. I
Yeah,
understand that. Even me too.
yeah.
I've said that the Gunners are gonna win the league this season. I first started we're gonna challenge, and after the Liverpool match, I said we have the metal to win the league, so we're going for the league. I understand that it's fair
You might
camaraderie.
win the league.
You
Tottenham
know.
might win the Champions League. It's plausible.
Okay, let's go there. With this beating you've just gotten, with the beating Arsenal gave to you, 2 weeks ago, and then with this beating, Deji, are you confident? Because see, I'm not trying to understand anything. I'm trying to see if you're still delusional about what's on ground right now.
I'm not
Deji, do you
delusional
still
about what's on ground. That's why I was very. See,
do
for
you
me,
believe do you believe you are going to win any title this season with this team,
yes, I
Deji,
do.
and with how
Yes,
you guys are
yes,
setting up?
yes, I do. I believe we're going to win something this season. But Conte needs to do one thing. Let me tell you what Conte needs to do. He needs to
Deji,
do
we
what he
have
did
a
at
room.
Chelsea.
We have a room filled with with trolls, and you're literally saying that you're going to win a league
No,
after
listen,
that embarrassing defeat
listen.
in Manchester
I said
United.
from early. I said from early the Premier League or the Champions League. English. I didn't say Premier League and the Champions League. I said the Premier League or the Champions League. Now, given I'll give you that, it's looking quite poor in the Premier League. But we're still top of our group in the Champions League. That's not me being delusional. But however, in order for this to happen, two things needs to happen in order for my prediction to come to pass.
Okay.
The first thing is we got to reinforce in bloody January. We got to get rid of Eric Dyer and
Wait,
Joe.
wait,
No, we need to get
Deji,
rid of them.
wait,
No, no,
Deji,
no.
wait, Deji, wait. Reinforce?
Yeah, we need to
Did you
reinforce
do
our
you know how many players you brought
defenders.
in the January
We only,
window?
bruv, we need to clean up our team. Look, we've lost
You
Kulusevski
brought
and
in
Richarlison.
Spence. You
We've
brought in
lost two. We've
Spence.
lost
You
Richarlison and
Oh
Kulusevski, and
my
we're back to square
God.
one. That's what's happened. We're back to square one. So we need to reinforce in January. But the most important thing now, and it's almost like a curse, he needs to start Jed Spence, our version of Trent Alexander-Arnold, our version of Reece James. He needs to play that brother with Sessegnon, not Perisic. Can you imagine that this donut in Conte, I don't want to call him a donut, but let me not disrespect him. I like this man, he's an Italian guy. But he played Sessegnon right wing back yesterday. What is he doing? Play Sess, play Spence, youth, our version of Carl Walker and Danny Rose flying down the wing. That's what we need to do. And Basuma, release the shackles, let that boy play. Give us free, like the Amistad. Give us free, let Basuma play his football. Then you're going to see a turnaround. In fact, right now, hashtag Dejispurs for the Spurs job. I want Conte. If he doesn't change his stubbornness in the next 5 games, I want him out and I want the job. And guess what? I will do the job for free. I don't want any payment. I will do the job and I will take this team myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dejispurs in the flesh on Tony Cloud Gunner TV. Let's just take a little bit of our chat down here. Chelsea OG says smack talk time. Of course, Dejispurs. It's here. It's here, guys. It's standing trial for crimes and offences against the Mancunian state, part 2. You know, he had a drubbing in the first one, you know. And see, but Deji, yeah, I have to give you kudos. Yesterday I was watching One Touch TV. Shout out to One Touch TV. You know, our guys, our partners. And you were actually taking the whole smoke and you were actually talking. Like sincerely, I didn't know what to make of it. Like I wanted to troll you, you know. I had this urge to troll you, but
Yeah.
I just looked at your face. I just saw a man that's beaten, like, and I was like, should I add to this man's headache, you know? And apart from that, we're also friends, you know, behind the scenes too. And I was like, what should I do to this guy? I don't know, Deji.
I don't know
Like,
what
I
can
wanted
be
to
said.
bring a different energy, but I don't know. I pity you, my brother. That's it.
Bruv, look, right now, like I said to you guys, and I said it to
But we have
Northside,
someone who might not have mercy on you.
that's totally fine. So
Have
far, you
mercy on
guys
you,
are
Deji.
winning. You
But we
guys
have
are winning
someone
the
who will not
battle,
have mercy on
but
you.
you haven't won
Ladies
the
and
war.
gentlemen, I want you guys to, you know, welcome, you know, one of the guys that has,
Ozzy's
you
been
know,
waiting for
been a
this.
very, very, very
He
big
stayed up
influence,
late
you know,
tonight
on me.
for this
And
moment.
it's the Aussie Gunner. You know, it's part of my icon. Hey, Aussie Gunner, you're welcome to the show. It's Deji Sports, is standing trial for offences against the Scandinavian states and the Mancunian states. Yesterday, he faced trial on One Touch TV. Now he's, you know, standing his second trial on Tony Cloud Gunner TV. See, Deji's my friend behind the stage. So I won't act up as if, you know, I don't pity him. I do pity him. But Osiguna, you don't have to pity him. You can rip him to shreds. I don't care. You know, but I won't do that job because he's my friend. Osiguna, you're welcome to the show. Take the stage.
Oh, mate, cheers. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to do nothing to you. It's the bloke with the fucking blade. He's the one that's going to hurt you. That's what he's done right here. Nah, look. Dej, I'll give you credit. You came out on One Touch TV and you were calling it straight on your team, mate.
Straight.
That was one thing I saw. And I thought, here we go. But you remember when I was telling you guys, and this is not a dig. You know, sometimes people think that I'm digging at teams. I'm not digging. Remember when I told you your midfield is lacking? Your midfield is lacking. Your midfield's lacking that creative midfield, that player who can link up play. And with Basuma, Bentancur, and Højbjerg, it's not there. In this game against Man United, it was all let's try and get down the flanks, but it wasn't working, bro. And to be honest, man,
but you know why?
what do you reckon? Tell me why.
I I hear what you're saying, and I know where you're going with this. My argument is this: I think our midfielders are good, but it's like it's like taking your team now under Conte.
Yeah.
If you're taking talented players whose natural, it's like driving a Ferrari in gear one. It's not going to work. These guys want to fly. They want to fly forward, but they've been told you've got to sit back. That's why Basuma is struggling. Basuma is a box-to-box midfielder, up, down, non-stop, and he's been asked to play defensive midfield. It just doesn't work. Do you get what I'm saying?
But that's the position he plays.
Basuma's more of a DM, bro. But it's not
He's a central defensive midfielder.
Yeah. Basuma's a DM, and a really good DM. He is. You know what it is, bro? You're right with Conte's style of football. You're 100%. He likes to sit back. He likes to sit back and just say, "He press us, and we hit you on the break." And you know, when you guys were winning, it's like, well, we're not playing well. It wasn't that you weren't playing well. You're playing his style of football. No, it's not well in comparison to how you guys used to play under Poch. But this is his style. And for his style to work, you guys have got the wrong players. It's not that your players are no good. You got the wrong players for his system.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest about it. Like, for this to be, look, he needs two. He needs a left wing back and a right wing back that can move. Is Perisic the guy? Let's be honest.
No, he's not the guy.
You know, he's not. When you guys got him, I thought that's a Band-Aid solution. That's a Band-Aid. He got him. He knows him, but that's Band-Aid. And this is where, like, your transfer market, when it came in, everyone said you had a good transfer window. Yeah, it was good, but there has to be a few more. Conte said it. He goes, this is the start. He needs more. And he's right. There's gaps in this squad. There's gaps in your squad.
Ossie, let's don't backtrack here. To everyone in the league, Tottenham had one of the best transfer windows. Let's don't sugarcoat this thing.
Who said that? Who said that?
Who
said that? Who said they had the best?
Many Arsenal fans were saying they had a more better transfer window.
Those guys are deluded.
Even Deji said that on this show.
Yeah,
of course, you know Deji owns this show too.
But look, the issue here, Tony and Ozzy, is not the transfer window. The issue here is the style of play and the system and the players. My thing is, if you're going to deploy a system where you're going to sit back, then Ozzy just said it, and this is why I rate Ozzy. You need legs. So for me, when you're playing against the big teams, Sessegnon has to start because you know you've got Reece James if you're playing Chelsea. You know you've got Saka if you're playing bloody Arsenal. You know you've got Anthony if you're playing United. When we play Liverpool, you cannot play Perisic up against Salah. It's a disaster. Yeah? Play the young ones, see what happens. Then on the right-hand side, play Spence. It would have been interesting to see Spence up against Martinelli. It would have been interesting to see Spence last night. Everybody knows Doherty can't run. I can outrun Doherty, and I ain't running in ages. And that's the bloody problem. So for me, the players, the people that he's picking to play these big games, he's making the wrong decision every time. And then 10 minutes to go is when he wants to now make changes. It's just stupid. And I feel that his own fear of losing is killing the game. And that's what I would say here. And I think Ozzy, Tony, back this. We were shit against you guys. We were shit against United. But let's be real, those players weren't even given an opportunity to play by Conte. Because those games were rubbish. They didn't play.
You know what, Deji? You're right. But you know what? You're right. You're right with Perisic. You're right with Doherty. Remember, I told you he will not play Spence because he's not his player. Remember, I told you that? He won't play him. And it's stupid. It's fucking dumb.
He doesn't even respect him.
It's like you can hang out there to dry, and he puts Doherty. I knew he was going to start Doherty, and it's a fucking joke. Use him as a right wing back. He's stuck in his own ways, but he's Italian, testadura. That's how they are. You know what I mean? Hard-headed. He's not going to change. But when it comes to the way you guys played this season, this is the style of play. This is why when everyone said Tottenham aren't playing well, I said no, they are playing well. I've seen Conte's football. Not as good as Chelsea fans have, but I've seen his football. You guys are playing his football, and you guys are getting results. That's what he does. He wins ugly. There's only going to be teams that are really soft that you guys are just so fucking strong. You guys, doesn't matter how you play, you're going to get 4 goals. But this is Conte's style of football. The only reason he did well at Chelsea is because he had a lineup and money spent like crazy. He had a big lineup, big
But
players, and that's why he did well.
This question will go to you and Deji. See, Tottenham knew what they were getting into when they brought in Conte. Deji has bigged up
Yeah.
Conte when he came. He loved how they were playing. You know, he was okay with grinding
Because
out
it's getting the points.
results.
It doesn't matter how you get the points as long as you get them.
Exactly. See, they knew what they were getting into when they went for Conte. Do you think right now that Tottenham Hotspurs need to do away with Conte right now? Because
No.
right now
No.
it shows they're not going to get any title this season.
I said
Secondly,
Conte.
they are not putting in the performances that they ought to be putting in. The question goes to both of you. What do you guys think? Should Conte leave the club? It's a direct one.
Can you have at it, Deji? I'll come in after you.
Okay.
My answer is that if we play in this way against Newcastle and the game after that, then I will say yes, and I'll explain why. I told you just before Ozzy came on the show, life is about, get rich or die trying. There's nothing you can lose a game of football. That's normal. You guys could come to Spurs, lose a game.
Yeah.
It swings in roundabouts, and that's life. Man City lost to Liverpool. No one's gonna, Pep's not gonna get his knickers in the twist. But for me, I think the thing that hurt Spurs fans yesterday was the manner. I saw Kenyan marathon runners yesterday, not footballers, Kenyan marathon runners, because their job on that pitch was to sit deep as the ocean and run around after the ball playing tag. And that for me is just not on. Not when you have world-class strikers in Kane and Son. How can you have Kane and Son spend the whole game running after shadows? And that's what we did yesterday. So those guys had no chance in hell of doing anything. So for me, in the next two games, and just one more point. The system seems to work against the lesser teams. But Conte needs to work out a system for the big six. Because so far, we didn't turn up against Chelsea with that system. We didn't turn up against Arsenal. We didn't turn up against Man U. And bloody hell, I don't know what's going to happen when we play Liverpool and Man City. If we play
you're going to be mopped with the floor.
It could be.
It's going to be a shit show.
If it weren't for Lloris, and this is why I told you he's better than Ramsdale, it could have been 7 or 8 yesterday, quite easily. 7 or 8 goals to United yesterday. So for me, I need to see big boy changes. Right now, I've got no confidence in Spurs beating Newcastle. I've been bigging up Newcastle from before the season started. I've been bigging them up. They are producing the goods. I have no faith that we can even get a point against Newcastle this weekend.
Wow. Osiguna, you've heard what he said. What do you think? How can you counter that?
The only way you can, this is the problem that you have here. If you get rid of Conte, right? If you get rid of Conte, you got to get rid of him like now. So that way you guys can jump on the Pochettino bandwagon again in that train. I know that ship sailed, but there's not much out there at the moment.
We need
so,
him.
And the only reason I say this, sorry?
We want him back.
Yeah, because the only reason I say this is because if we allow time to go on and Stevie Gerrard gets fucking the sack, which he probably will at Aston Villa, Pochettino's been linked to that role. If he gets signed up with Aston Villa, then you guys have got no opportunity for a decent manager, and you're going to be stuck in the same situation you were before Conte. You know what I mean? So you're damned if you're doing. You either make the moves now or don't make them at all. If they stick with Conte, then they're going to be stuck with Conte for at least 2 seasons and at least a few more transfer windows. The way that he's going to play, let's be honest, he won't change it up. Conte does not change up. This is him. He's like Mourinho. But you know what I mean? He's going to stick to his guns. This is the way I play. And he'll come out and he'll do the same stuff in the fucking, when he's doing the interview saying, oh, look, this is the way I'll play. And if you don't trust me to be the coach to get the points, then blah, blah, blah. He'll come out with all his excuses.
But don't you think the pressure should get to him? Of course, a coach like that doesn't want to be disgraced.
Because he won't. No, he won't.
Tottenham Sports.
Tony, he won't. He doesn't mind to get the sack because I guarantee you, in his contract, he gets paid out when he gets sacked. If he gets sacked, he gets a payout, and that screws Tottenham up even more. But
See, because the
sometimes you
reason
got to cut your losses.
because the reason why I'm saying that is that Bissouma in the Premiership hasn't been getting lots of starts this season.
It's probably not his player. Neither
but
is
for some reason,
look, he's
that's
not his
what I'm saying.
player.
But for some reason, he started Bissouma yesterday. So I
Well, he
believe
had
that
to,
the pressure is beginning to creep
No,
in.
he
He
had
had to.
no choice because Richarlison and Kulusevski were both injured. I just want to
Okay.
respond to Fair of Black London. Fair of Black London is saying calling for Conte is crazy. No, it's not. It's called foresight, and I'll tell you why. Ozzy is right. If we waste time and don't get rid of Conte now, then we are lumbered with this for the next couple of seasons, and it can only go from bad to worse. I was one of the few people that was in agreement that Mourinho had to go before the final of the Carabao Cup because I saw the morale in those players go so low that you knew we were going to lose because Mourinho had pretty much crushed the soul of those guys. For me, this is Kane in his prime, arguably Son in his prime. Maybe they got one more season in them. Get Poch and let's have one last hurrah. That's what I'm saying because for me right now, this football
One last
is a disgrace. So
It's
for me,
fucked.
I'm
It's
pulling
fucked.
it out.
Deji
Conte out from now.
Deji's a superstar, bro.
Now.
He's a hero.
Because it's fucked. The football
So
is
one
fucked.
last-
The football
one
they're
last
playing, it's
hooray.
fucking horrible to watch. It's horrible to watch their football. It is. It's fucking horrible. And if you get 3 points, you don't mind watching it. You don't mind watching that shit. If you get the 3 points, it's when it don't get the 3 points that you start seeing the
That you
fucking
start-
what the fuck am I watching here?
Exactly.
And you've got, like you said, Son, you've got Kane, you've got players that go forward really well, but are barely getting there now under this system. You know, you're scraping through the 1-0, the 2-1s when it should be 3-1, 4-2, more of an exciting game, more open and expansive. With Conte, you're not going to get that. And you won't. It doesn't matter if he gets all his players, all you're going to get is results, and that's it. You won't get flashy football.
But see, in a team blessed with attacking talents that Arsenal doesn't have, let's call a spade, Osiguna and Deji. We don't have the type of striking players these guys have. Kane, Richarlison, and they're playing this kind of football. Like
you're missing.
I don't understand that.
Where I think managers are going wrong, and why I've asked myself to be in the Spurs job, and I know Arsenal Manic sitting there in his knickers with the fan on is wondering why I'm saying this. The reason why I'm saying this is that surely, as a manager, you build your team and system based on the players. You don't make the players fit into your system. Does that make sense? What he's done is he's forcing players that are naturally attack-minded, that fly forward, and he's making them fit into. It's like putting a triangle on a square peg. It just isn't going to work. These are your players. These are the attributes. What system can I play that allows them to play at their full potential? That's what's missing in football at the moment, and it's a disgrace. And dare I say, can I say, what Eric Ten Hag has done? Because Eric Ten Hag likes to play a high press game of football. He's looked at his United players and said, look, these are old fogies. These guys can't really press. That's why he didn't start with Ronaldo. And he's gone with the counter-attacking football because that's what he knows he's got. He can't do his usual possession, high press, high intensity game because he knows he hasn't got the players to do that. And that's what I want to see with my manager, and my manager's not doing it. And now I'm questioning whether Eric Ten Hag would have done a better job at Spurs than Conte. Because Conte would have gone and played deep. Conte would have gone and played deep at United. Eric Ten Hag would have looked at what he's got and come up with a solution.
Dejispurs. So you're now telling me that you rate an Eric Ten Hag than Conte.
Yeah, Conte's stuck in one. Yeah, Conte plays the same football. Look at how he played with fucking Chelsea. Look how he's playing here with Spurs. Like I said,
but he won a title with Chelsea, though.
Yeah, but look at the players that he had.
All of a sudden,
look at the players that he had.
He's now a con man. Like
better players. The better players to suit his system. His midfield was packed. It was a better midfield than what they've got. I'm telling you guys, I don't chat out of my ass. The reason why I knew we were going to win the North London Derby is because their midfield doesn't suit their system, bro. I told you guys, how are you guys going to switch up? You can't switch up. You're going to go down the flanks. We got you guys. That's why they lost the game. Their midfield doesn't suit their style of football. And instead of going, They've got Richarlison in. Now, I know why he got Richarlison in, because they were worried about Kane getting injured and they needed an option.
Yeah.
I understand that. But you got to get yourself, you need to get yourself more of a 10, more of a player who's going to fucking, who can come forward, who can create, who can link up play, like your Bruno Fernandes, like blah, blah, blah. Players like that. Maybe, Maddison, who would have been a great player for you guys, and somewhat even Arsenal, even though I hate him. You needed a player of that caliber. But all you guys do is down the flanks. You don't have the players on the flanks. You got Perisic, who's 106 years old. You got Doherty, who can't walk, let alone run. And he wants to play this style of football, but he'll continue to play this style of football because this is all he knows. It's like Mourinho. It's all they know, one-dimensional. And that's why for Conte to go well at Spurs, he needs a few transfer windows to change up the players to suit his style, not the other way around like Eric Ten Hag will, where he can adapt. He's the kind of player. Let me see who we've got. Yep, just like Deji said. Yep, this. I don't blame you, bro. It's their football, bro.
I don't want that style. I mean, look, I find myself agreeing with Ladimus in the chat. He says this is Conte's system against the top teams. Conte sits back, prays that the opposition have an off day in front of goal, and hopes his talented forwards bail him out on their counter attack. And I think so. You're asking Spurs strikers to have 100% accuracy in front of goal. That's literally that's the only way. 100% accuracy. If we don't have 100%, there's no room to be missing. And he thought he had that in Kane, because Kane and Son, let's be real, in terms of conversions into goal, they're quite high. They convert. Their conversion rate is really good. But if they have an off day, like they did against United, or they don't get a sniff on goal, then it's a royal disaster. And that's what it is. We've been playing on a wing and a prayer. I can't. To be honest with you, it is a disgrace. But look, we've spent 30 minutes on Spurs, and I don't want to talk about them anymore because I've lost confidence. For me, Conte needs to come out, because what Ozzy is saying is my worst nightmare. Look, I don't like clowns. I really don't like clowns. I get nightmares. You know what I'm saying? And right now, my team is looking like a bunch of clowns. And for me, I'm as much as Newcastle this weekend, if we get thumped by Newcastle, Conte needs to go. I'll be the first one standing outside the stadium with my T-shirt.
I'll come to that, Dejispurs. Ozzy, call a spade here. Where do you think Spurs is going to end up this season? Just give it a direct shot.
Is this Ozzy or me?
Ozzy.
Oh, they'll finish fourth. They'll still be in the top four. They got a good enough team to finish fourth. They do.
Even with that performance against Manchester United, losing against Arsenal.
Look, you can lose against the big boys and win all the other games and still be fucking in the mix. I think they can still finish in the top four. I still reckon they can. They're not going to be out of the top four.
Okay, Deji.
Don't be saying 8th or 6th or some shit. Don't be saying that, because that's seriously, you guys are going to finish at least fourth.
Deji.
Yeah.
Have the wheels actually fallen off? Are you now far from grace that you cannot get top four this season, Deji? Have the wheels fallen off?
Do you know what? I'm going to be... This is the first time that I have to say I actually don't have an answer for you, Tom. Wow. And that's the first. Can we clip this? And I explain why. If we continue down this boring, quite predictable game of football, I think the wheels could fall off. I agree with Ozzy. I think we'll beat the little teams, but I think the key to success this season, remember there's a top 6. You've got to get points against your fellow big 6 rivals. And at the moment, it looks like we would lose all of our games against the big 6, which means we could come out of the top 4. Now, however, what I am trying to bank on, which is why I made the comment earlier that I stressed the point of, if not the Premier League, the Champions League, is that I'm hoping, and I'm going to be brutally honest, that Conte has an epiphany and does something different. If he does something different, Spurs still have a chance. If Conte continues down this stubborn route where he's refusing to change, refusing to adapt it based on his players, but forcing players that don't play a system to be Kenyan marathon runners, then it could be a disaster. I could see us definitely not finishing in the top 4. I think top 6, but not top 4. And I'll tell you why, because he said it himself. he said it himself in the press conference yesterday that
Title contenders.
He laughed that off. But what he said was,
He laughed that off. Actually,
he said that United.
Shocking.
He said that United had a shit season. And if Eric Ten Hag gets United playing, that they're top 4. If Harry Potter's got Chelsea playing, they're top 4. You've got you guys now doing all right, and we've got City. So
we're doing half decent. We're doing okay. I mean, we're sitting a bit high, you know, a little bit too high for us. I'm a bit scared of heights. Yeah, we haven't been up there for a long time, so we're a little bit scared, freaked out at the top of the league, you know.
Guys, because in the chat, you know, they're expecting a goddamn war here. But see, you can't go to war with someone who has already admitted defeat, like a broken man.
You don't kick a man when he's down.
His arms, you know,
I'm not going to kick a man when he's fucking down.
It already. You can't kick him, you know. You just
you don't kick a man when he's down.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I've still made my point though, even though you can tell that I'm not in a good place right now mentally.
Yeah.
I am sticking with my guns on the champion. You know, if not the champ, if we can't win the Prem, which it doesn't look likely, we're still in the Champions League. We're still in a good spot, but that could all change by next week against Sporting.
Cold on this street.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna ask you something, Deji. If you guys,
these guys in the chats are wicked, man. Deji, wrap up warm. It's cold on the streets. Oh my god.
Spurs, you being a fucking freak. It's funny though.
Sorry, bro.
If you guys don't like, let's be honest. The way I see it, Premier League, when you were saying going to win the Premier League, I was like, nah, it's not going to happen. And Champions League's a big shout, very big shout. Say both of them go begging, right? That don't happen.
Yeah.
What happens? What would you call a successful season then? Or does that mean it's dead in the water? The season's a free hit, and Conte out.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. That's it.
Honestly speaking, the sort of man that.
No, that's your opinion. Yeah.
It has to be. I don't think, you know, I'd be lying to you if I'm going to sit here and tell you that a Mickey Mouse Cup and 4th is good enough. It's not.
Okay, just before we go into that Arsenal, because Deji has to actually talk about Arsenal. That's the punishment I would give to him rather than cooking him. So, you know, we'll just make him talk and praise Arsenal this evening. That would be the sentence. Of course, me and Ozzy would decide the sentence to give him from the state of Scandinavia. I'm not praising
your team because we're already starting to see the cracks that I've been predicting for the past 10 weeks. Your last 3 games, you guys have limped over the line. Let's be real. Bamford, who I rate highly as a striker, missed a penalty that I just still can't believe he missed. And then tonight, you guys won 1-0. So for me, are the wheels falling off? I think you're cracking at the seams, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think the biggest thing for Arsenal this season is the fact that you guys have the World Cup. The World Cup. Because, you know,
that could be a blessing in disguise, but
it could be a blessing in disguise.
It could be a very big blessing.
For either of us. It could be a blessing. Right now, it's looking more like a blessing in disguise for Spurs, because we're doing shocking right now.
You need that break, right?
But I think that, you know, Arsenal at the moment, you've been limping. I mean, right now, the last 3 games, I don't know if you guys are playing under Arteta or George Graham, because they've just been 1-0s. Do you know what I mean?
End of the day,
how long are you gonna put up with this kind of football where you guys are limping and getting results? Look, give you credit, you're getting the results, but how long can you keep trying to win 1-0?
Yeah. Ozzy, you want to have a crack at that? Do you want to have a fair shot at that?
The Leeds game was not something I like to watch. I didn't enjoy that because the middle of the park was a joke. Our midfield fucking fell to bits. But in the invincible season, we had games like that too. And I'm not saying this team's going to go invincible. No, I'm just saying we've been on runs before, and there are going to be games that you're going to it's not going to look great. It's not. And that looked horrible. But we got the result. Against Liverpool, we beat Liverpool. Against you guys, we beat you guys. We haven't lost many games apart from Man United. But the Leeds game does worry me because the way we weren't able to cope with the pressure and transition, that worried me. But to say cracks, not yet. We're still creating a lot of chances. My problem with Arsenal this season, from the start till now was creating a lot of chances, not finishing them. And against PSV, created a lot of chances, didn't finish. I can only hope that we get back into winning ways and start fucking finishing our dinner. Because right now, Arsenal's football, as much as it's like, oh, you only scored 1-0, if you watch it, it's possession-based, it's chance creation, where we're trying to choke teams out of the game. We're doing that. We're not sitting back like you guys are doing right now, sitting back and letting the teams have a bit
And
of fun.
inviting
We're not doing
pressure,
that. Apart from what
inviting
happened with
unnecessary
Leeds.
pressure on your team. That's the problem. You're inviting so much pressure on your team. And there's so much you can actually take as a team, no matter if you have good defenders. And the problem with sports is that you don't have strong defenders to actually carry that pressure for the whole 90 minutes. It's not possible. It's not possible. You cannot have Dyer sitting down there, soaking all that pressure. Davis and Romero. Romero is a calamity. He's a calamity defender right now,
So I just think Romero's a class defender. He just needs, to be honest, what would have been
I think Romero needs someone better than Dyer beside him.
Romero needs a Saliba alongside.
See, he needs someone better than Dyer. He needs someone better than Dyer beside him, and he'll be all right. He's fucked with Dyer.
What, Dyer and Ben Davis and
straight, mate.
But seriously, Deji, even Romero has been shocking this season. You remember that goal? You remember that goal that I think it was Gabriel Jesus when he scored at the Emirates. And Romero was just sitting there when Morris had an hour.
I mean, bloody hell, Saliba scored an own goal. This is the Premier League. Do you get what I'm saying? Well, I'm not going to have that. Saliba, Romero is a good defender. Yeah, he was caught napping, or there was a lapse in concentration for the Jesus goal, but generally speaking, he's been top draw. But
he's the best defender. He's the best defender.
But what can you do when the others are weak? What can you do when the others are weak? Saliba's having to pick up the pieces for Gabriel. Gabriel's been an utter joke. Someone of the level of a Brentford or even lower. Do you get what I'm saying? So what we need is another Romero on the opposite side. And then someone who can basically, we need a solid replacement for Dyer and a replacement for Ben Davis. But
okay, let's
more
look at
important than that, we need to play Cess and Spence. We need to play the young guns in the wing-back positions running forward. We're not doing that. And until we do that, we deserve to suffer.
Deji, there's two stuff here. Beginning of the season, Deji said he's really worried about Arsenal because we're not even going to pose them any competition. That aged well. What do you have to say about that? And it's coming from no other person than Arsenal Manic. You know him.
Well, Tony, after I respond to this question, I'm going to say that, when we're dealing with people that we know have a couple screws loose, we have to really take some of their comments with a pinch of salt.
Shout out to you, Arsenal Manic.
Arsenal Manic is one of those people that we know needs help. And actually what you should be doing is asking me to call 999 and trying to track down where this brother is. Because right now he could have a hammer and be trying to hammer his head for all we know. Look, in answer to that, in all seriousness, banter aside, Arsenal Manic, I don't know what you're talking about, mate, because you're starting to piss me off. The reality is there's only been 10 games. Yeah? I've told you that you guys won the war. You have not won the battle yet. Ozzy, you can agree with me. It's still early days. I'm happy to change my tune after game 15 and 18 when we get to the halfway part of the season. But I'm not about to sit here and accept that comment from Arsenal Manic when we know there's a World Cup. Anything can happen to those Arsenal players during that time. Some of them could even get kidnapped and then never come back. Do you know what I'm saying? And so let's wait and see at the halfway point before we make them sorts of comments.
Oh my God.
The thing is, he's saying...
Ozzy, please, what do you have to say? Deji just cracks me up, man. Well, he knows how to get out of this situation,
You were saying Arsenal will finish 8th, right?
Yeah.
You were saying Arsenal will finish 8th. Do you still agree with that? Honest opinion.
As it stands, no.
Honest opinion, no banter.
I don't think you'll finish.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Let's cut that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in no other place has Deji accepted this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only
a spade a spade. I'm calling a spade, and Deji can see where Arsenal are at the moment, And
Yeah,
apart from
of
the
course.
Leeds game in the Premier League, they haven't been too bad. But I'm going to agree with you. It's only 10 games in. It is. I'm not going to sit there and say Arsenal are going to win the league from here. No. No. We can't. There's only 10 games. It's
I
too many
respect that
games.
opinion. I
But
respect it.
at the moment, when I'm looking at Spurs and Arsenal at the moment, Arsenal, you can admit, are in a better place, are playing better football, are in a better place, and are in a place that you would rather be. We're playing the kind of football that Tottenham should be playing. True or not?
I agree with that.
You guys could play that kind of football and get results. And that's the problem with Spurs right now.
On the only thing, like I'm saying to you, is that I'm hoping that Conte has an epiphany and does the right thing by the players and makes the right.
I've never seen it from him before, bro. I've
If
never seen
not,
it from him before.
Never
Then
seen
it's a
it.
disaster. Then for me, I'm gonna squash all my predictions, and that's going to be based on Conte. This, just have you know, and I want to publicly declare that the players have not let their side down. It's been.
See, Conte let this team down. Conte.
Yeah,
Look,
Conte
let me say, you saw the North London derby. You know when I got the shits?
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I got the shits. I got the shits when your manager made those substitutions. That for me was, what the fuck are you doing? He threw it under the bus.
Yeah.
He just fuck the North London derby. The North London derby means a little bit more than 3 points. It's 3 points, but it's your neighbours. You got to go out on your shield. He didn't do that, and that's the thing with Conte. This is where the Spurs fans can see him for what he is. He's looking at 3 points at a time. There's no energy. There's no fucking feel. For fuck's sake, I'm not a Mikel Arteta fan, but for fuck's sake, you can see the guy gives a shit. He was losing his shit on the sideline. Your manager is throwing defenders on when you guys needed goals. Conte is in trouble right now. And I don't think he's going to change his shape. I don't think. And I think Arsenal right now, the way we are, I think at the moment, when you look at Arsenal and Spurs, we all know that on present form and the way it's looking, that Arsenal are dead set to finish above Spurs. But for me, that's not a competition. I want to win something.
Okay, but wait. Check this scenario out. It's okay. It's good and okay, and it could even be lazy in some cases to just blame the manager for everything. To what extent can we blame the players? Some of the players should be taking blames. Players like Son should be taking some blame for not finishing properly. Players like that.
Son's been off form.
You're missing Kulusevski. I'm not creating or attempting a defense of your team, but I'm just saying that there are some problems with some players.
Vladimir's Prime said it right in the chat. He said
he's
waiting for an opportunity for the players for the strikers to bail him out. And the system doesn't allow for error, doesn't allow for the players to have a look. How can you bail out a manager when you've got to start your run into the opposition box from deep in your own half? Unless you're Usain Bolt, you're gonna get caught. It's a nightmare. I'm going on the weekends watching kiddies football. It's happening at under 8. On the weekend, same thing. You can't outrun a team just with sheer pace. Even if you do it once, can you do the whole game? No, you can't. You're playing in the top league with top players. For me, I'm not putting any blame on any of the Spurs players because those players are good. They're making a shit system work. They've managed to get 23 points playing this rubbish football. I'm now asking, can we give these boys half a chance? Can we let them play? Can we go toe-to-toe? I watched the Man City-Liverpool game. What a fantastic advert for the Premier League. What a fantastic game of football that even if you're a City fan, you can't be upset losing. You can't, because it was a bloody beautiful game of football. I'm looking at my team saying, can we go toe-to-toe with Liverpool like that? Can we go toe-to-toe with Man City like that? Hell no. We couldn't go toe-to-toe with bloody Ajax United. And I don't even rate them. So for me, he's handicapped our players and we need to release the shackles. So for me right now, Conte is to blame. No blame comes on the players whatsoever.
Ozzy,
he needs to come out.
Ozzy, so no blames on any of the players for you, right? Son has been having a shocking season.
Son's having a shocking season. It is. He's off form. Yep. Okay. One player. Off form. So I bench him. What? You're going to blame every other player? Perisic.
Kulusevski missing. Perisic not doing his
Kulusevski's
best at all. Emerson
Perisic, come
Royale,
on.
shitty player,
Perisic is
hasn't been performing
Emerson
well.
Royale. Okay. Let me finish. Emerson Royale, every Spurs fan knows he's shit because when they got him, they wanted Takehiro Tomiyasu and they got him. We all know he's shit. And he's not good enough to be on the fucking pitch. We all know he's shit. That's a player they have to replace. Perisic is too old to be on the fucking pitch, but that's a band-aid solution. And we all know that. That's good for depth. That's good for off the bench. Take him off the bench, bring in a proper player, okay? So Perisic, he's aged. You can't blame Perisic that he hasn't got legs. He's done it all these years. You can't blame Perisic for fucking signing for Tottenham when he was offered a contract. I can't blame him.
Yeah.
He's doing what he can do. We all knew he was going to run out of legs. Son's off form. Kulusevski's been injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I look at the manager right now with the players that he's got, that he wanted in many cases. He needs to, like Deji said, change things around. But Conte is a testadura. He's not going to change shit. Conte is going to stick and play the same. He plays Arsenal and sits there, right? And again, I'm going back to the North London derby, not as a fucking dig, but as a game that we all fucking remember, where he allowed the other team to press the living shit out of him and did not change his style of football at all. At all. He's losing the game, not changing. Change your football. When people say throw the kitchen sink, you know what I mean, Deji? Throw the kitchen sink, throw your strikers on, fucking go for it. Who cares if you lose? You're losing anyway. This guy doesn't have a kitchen sink. He doesn't know what it is. And that's the problem. That's why when people say, oh, wait a minute, Conte, I say, look, Conte's style of football, this is it. You want to see a result? It's going to be in 2 seasons, not now. If you're happy to wait 2 more seasons and watch this shit for 2 seasons, you'll see a result. He'll get you a result. But if you want results now, you're not going to get it from him because this is his style. He hasn't got the players. The players there aren't shit, but Doherty, he's not good enough, obviously. Jed Spence could be a good shout, but we're not going to know. We're not going to know until we see the fucking guy play.
True.
If what you're saying is true, Ozzy Guna, then the only way that I can accept it is if he brings home the Premier League or the Champions League, because I'm not going to accept that style.
This season, he won't do that. Bro, he won't do that. Not this season.
But even in the future, I'm not taking that style of football and being satisfied with a Mickey Mouse Cup. No, I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather play attractive football and not win a trophy than watch the diabolical. Look, no Tottenham fan is happy. No one is happy right now.
The fuming, all of them.
Was so bad that I thought to myself, I'm never streaming again. I had Tottenham fans telling me they couldn't sleep last night. It was so bad. For me, if this is going to continue, he better bring home a big boy trophy. If not, he best leave my club right now.
See, fear of Black London, I said in the chat here, calling for Conte is crazy. That's what he said there. Arsenal Manic just sent Kane to Arsenal.
Black London is an Arsenal fan. There you go.
Otto B says Conte is sussed out. Like,
everyone you
to what extent will see? It's not like he's lost like 8 games.
No.
No.
It's the manner. No, it's the problem is the manner he's losing games. It's the manner of the way they're playing.
What should they be calling? What should they be calling for Conte's head right now? That's what I'm saying.
Well, the thing is, this is when you get strategic, right?
Be careful, Tottenham Hotspurs. This is a record start for them. We have to be very careful about this.
What we know.
No. Let Ossie continue with what we're saying.
Yeah, go on, let Ossie finish. Sorry.
Well, the way it is right now, you're saying, do we call for Conte's head? Again, if you're happy to see out his process, right, then no. Mm-hmm. You see out the process. And this season, to be honest, I think it's a big ask. How long has he been in charge? What, 11 months? 9 months? Something like that? 9 months? 10 months? Something like that?
No, it's 11 months.
11 months. Okay. So he's been in charge 11 months. You've had a good start to the season, one of the best that you've ever had. Okay. But the manner that you guys are playing, you're not used to and you don't like. Of course, that's Conte's style of football, but he's getting results when they kind of matter. He's keeping you in and amongst the mix. But I know what your problem is. You want to see Premier League. You want to see Champions League. Which manager has shown you something close to that in this period of time? No one. No one's shown you a taste of it in a short period of time. He has. So that's why you're not going to see the board get rid of him. He's going to have to fucking, either they're going to have to say, look, the fans are making enough noise that we're going to get rid of him, but they won't get rid of him for his performance. So it's either one now. The one thing is now, there's either you stick with Conte for 2 seasons and expect something in the second, right? In the second or third. And it might not be the Champions League, and it might not be the Premier League. It might be an FA Cup, or you get rid of him now, right, in order to bring Pochettino back in, and this season goes in the bin because Pochettino's not going to be able to get a tune out of this team.
Wow. Deji, what do you say to that, bruv?
Poch can't do it now. Not with these players. They're not his players. They're too old.
Deji,
He needs
take a
players that are
Poch
quicker.
Right now, Deji. Won't you take a Poch
And he needs
right
a
now?
10.
For me personally, I'll take a Poch right now.
And patience, but patience.
I think I'll take a Poch only because some of those players he does know. He knows Dyer, he knows Son, he knows Kane. I think he can work with Bentancur. There's some quality in that team that Poch can make play football. I'm just scared that Spurs are going to do another Mourinho. Conte's going to do another Mourinho. If I see in the next 5 games that Conte can somehow turn it around, then I'm happy to go with it and stick with it. My fear is in the next 5 games, if this is a continue, look, we got Liverpool on the 6th of November. If we get slapped up by Liverpool, that means officially all of the big 6, because Man City are going to slap us up, is beating us in the first half of the season. That to me is not good reading. And for me, let's not waste time. He needs to come out. So for me, for Conte to stay in this job, we need to get at least a point against Liverpool, and we need to get at least a point against City, or he can fuck off. And that's being honest.
Wow. Okay. That's not.
Okay.
See, we're about to close the show because Deji has a limit to stay here. But this is the last one. Deji, you have a game this weekend against Newcastle. Now, the games, just like you always said, when you were trolling Arsenal some couple of games back, when the games are coming thick and fast.
I'm still trolling you. I'm waiting for the wheels.
When the game come in thick and
just
fast.
keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Patiently. Just wait there patiently for them wheels.
When I was telling all these lots, I was telling all of them that, it's Arsenal's time. They all mocked me. But right now, Chelsea's going to Brentford, having a draw, and we put Brentford on toast. I think, Ozzy, we won that game in the first half, innit?
3-0. Didn't we win that game 3-0?
It was in the first half, right? Yeah, so, all these Chelsea guys struggling out there in Brentford, well, no problems. I'll just, Laden was telling me something about proof. Well, the proof is in the pudding. It's in the league table right now. Just go there. That's where the proof is. So, this season, I don't need no respect from any one of you guys. The respect is gotten from the table. Just go look at where we are. And that's the respect you need. But Dejispurs, this is for you. Your final question. You face Newcastle right now. These guys have been smashing teams everywhere. Do you think you have a genuine chance, to have a shot, to have a go at Newcastle this weekend?
Honestly speaking, with the performance that I saw from my team yesterday, the answer is no. And I'll tell you why. I rate Newcastle. All of you know, even though I mocked it and said that I had Newcastle to finish above Arsenal, it might just be that Newcastle finish above Spurs, because I think that the way that they play football, tight, attacking football, resolute in their defense. I can see Callum Wilson scoring and Spurs losing 1-0. I really do. I really can't see Spurs beating Newcastle on the weekend. And for me, if we lose to Newcastle at home, it rubber stamps what I'm thinking. And I had Fear of Black London is saying I'm overreacting. I would say to you, Fear of Black London, I'm not overreacting. What I'm feeling something in the air. Yesterday, I said, is Arsenal Leicester in disguise? And let me for those in the know, what do I mean? Can Arsenal do a surprise thing? Because when Leicester won the league, everybody was waiting for the wheels to fall off, and the wheels didn't fall off. Right now, everyone's waiting for the wheels to fall off with Arsenal, and it doesn't seem to be falling off. So is Arsenal Leicester in disguise this season? It's a question that I'm posing. I'm going to pose that every week up until Christmas, because from Christmas, I'll be able to decide whether you guys are genuinely Leicester this season and go on to win the league. However, is this Tottenham team under Mourinho in disguise? Because right now, with what I saw against Manchester United and what I saw against Arsenal, this team is soulless. And I can see, as I saw what was happening with Mourinho, dare I say, I'm seeing the same traits. Conte was having an argument with Bentancur on the pitch yesterday. When a player starts to argue with a manager, that's when the wheels start to fall off.
Start to fall off. Actually,
yeah,
I totally agree with that. I saw that argument and I felt like, oh, the wheels are starting to shake. You know, the wheels are starting to fall off in a way.
That's where that comment comes from.
Wow. You see, that's fucked up. I didn't know that fucking him and Bentancur had a fucking bit of a fucking.
They did have. In the first half, they had a big boy touchline argument.
Shit,
that's a bust stop.
And that was at 0-0. We weren't even losing.
Yeah, because we're saying first half, so that would have been. But then you noticed that what was it? 2 minutes into the second half,
right?
Bang! Right after it.
Okay, also because we have to go, you know, and I know you just woke up. Yeah, you know, we just finished.
I've been up since 2 a.m., brother. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's all
you
good.
can imagine, man. Thanks, man. I really appreciate this, bro. Okay, Arsenal versus Southampton, St. Mary's, a very tricky place for us to go to, a boogie place in some cases for us to go to. What do you make up of that match?
Like I said, I think it's going to be a cheeky 1-0 to Arsenal. I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble with Southampton. We do have trouble with them from time to time. And I'm looking at this game against PSV. I'll take it with a pinch of salt, and Leeds. Those two games for me, chances created, chances not taken. And so I'm thinking to myself, it'll be 1-0 to Arsenal. But no more than one. I don't see us scoring more than that. It'd be great to see more. I want to be fucking wrong. But from what I'm seeing against what I saw against Leeds and PSV, it should have been 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the best I can say is 1-0.
Missing balls here and there. I'll be having an Arsenal therapy tomorrow with Manny. Manny will be coming to the show tomorrow.
Been telling you.
Deji, close the show for us.
Anyway.
Deji, your final statement and close the show for us. Of course, it's also your show too.
If we don't see an improvement in the Tottenham team in the next week, I need to see a reaction from the players. A reaction for me would be to beat Newcastle at home and then to beat Sporting Lisbon at home. Failing that, then Conte needs to start packing his bags and head back to Turin as quick as he can, because it's unacceptable. In relation to your club, though, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I've got Che Adams to score on the weekend. I just have a sneaky feeling that Southampton might just nick it. They're a dodgy team for you. They play good football and they're not going to sit back. Yeah. So I have a feeling that Southampton might nick it, but it doesn't mean that the wheels are falling off just yet. It just means I need to see a few more defeats before I can honestly say.
You haven't seen too many, yeah. It's been few and far between when it comes to defeats.
Yeah.
Few and far between when it comes to defeats for Arsenal. No, that these W's, fuck. It's like a fucking new website.
Well, as you keep winning, the pressure keeps mounting on those little boys, and it's only a matter of time. Can they hack the pressure? Is the key? Is the question?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, look, we'll just keep winning. If we can keep on winning, we can keep on making a bigger gap.
Deji, right before you close the show for us, let me just big up some people in the chat for coming around, and of course, Aussie, there's a comment here for you. Okay, revelations. I heard you did kick a man that was down after you downed him in a West Sydney nightclub.
OG, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
That was for you.
Shut the fuck up.
And guys, man, hey, you might look at Aussie Gunner, like a cool guy. There's nothing cool about him. He's a boxer. This guy can scrap. It's not that cool, bro. He can really scrap. So let's just okay. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone.
Latimer's Prime saying it. Spurs will get top 4. We'll get top 4. And I believe that too. They will get top 4.
See, there is no how. See, there is no football lover who would not give Spurs top 4. Because when you have players like Kane in your team, you have players like Son, Kulusevski, Bentancur, you should be challenging for the title. Let's be very frank.
If if they're playing football and not being asked to act like Kenyan marathon runners, then yes, you're all right. But at the moment, those players that you've mentioned are being asked to do the marathon. And at the moment, marathon does not win you football matches, as you saw yesterday.
Yeah.
If you guys, can I say one thing, Deji? If you guys beat Newcastle, right? Let's say you scrape through a 1-0. Is that going to be good enough for you?
No.
Or do you want to see Spurs go and destroy Newcastle for you to start to feel a little bit
I
enthused?
think we need to destroy Newcastle, because I think it's dawn on, you and a few others mentioned earlier to me, and I was refusing to listen to it, but after yesterday, I'm starting to hear you guys out. You guys all said, how long can you guys keep playing this type of football and getting away with it? My concern is, even if we were to sneak a 1-0 victory, at some point down the line, the luck will run out. And for me, I don't want Spurs winning by luck. I want us winning by our pattern of play, our system. Yeah. The reason why you guys' chest is so pumped is because you're getting the results because of the way that you are playing. You're playing better than the opposition. You outplayed Liverpool on the day and therefore deserved the win. So that's why you are where you are. I'm looking ahead and saying, shit, maybe I'm starting to see what you guys have been saying from early on in the season. If we're struggling to beat Newcastle and not even giving we didn't even test De Gea the whole game.
No, you didn't. You didn't test him, mate. You didn't.
And this Man U team, let's just be real, they're fucking shit. In my opinion, they're crap. So what's that saying? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's got to be. Well, it's got to be conclusive. I know what you mean. It's got to be a game that you guys take to Newcastle and have them on the back foot. That's what you want.
Yeah. If not, then the wheels are falling off at Spurs, which is a damn shame, because I had Arsenal's wheels to fall off first. But I'm gonna have to take an L on
this one.
Take an L on this one.
Did you jump before you close the show for us? I want to thank everyone who came to the show today. Manny, who was on the chat, he should be with me, but I have to talk to him. Send him a text this night. We should have Arsenal therapy, because we have to look into what happened, raise an inquest into what happened today against PSV. Not a very, very encouraging kind of gameplay, but at least we still stole that game 1-0. So we have to have Arsenal therapy tomorrow. So Manny will be coming to the studios. Thank you, Arsenal Manic, for coming to throw Deji on the station today. Deji needs a little bit of, that check, check and balances a little bit, not over the top, but he needs that, to put him in line and, to put him in check. Fear of Black London, thank you. Mr. B, thank you for coming to the show. Amy Baba, of course. Ladimus Prime, thank you for coming to the show. Michael Harris, thank you for coming to the show.
Looks like Prince just woke up. He's fucking smashing the chat. Here we go.
Prince Fuad, thank you for coming to the show, man.
What are you doing, bro?
Michael Harris, of course. Chelsea OG, my partner down there in Chelsea OG channel. God bless you guys. Go there and subscribe to him too. Big up my friend, straight up. Thank you, Amy Baba, for coming to the show too. He's a very, very big fan of Dejispurs, and also you. He's also a big fan of you. He's in Finland here. He's a big fan of both of you, actually. So he loves you too. Arsenal for life. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank everyone who came here to bless up this show. Otto B, God bless you, brother. CFC. There's also another guy that came to the show, Spozzy Mikel Arteta. Thanks for coming to the show.
He's always there, man.
He's always there. Otto B. Thanks, man. All these guys. Craig big AFC.
Big up. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Deji, you have to close the show for us.
Yeah, no. Big up to Ozzy, staying up hours to be on the show and support. Thank you. Big up to Tony as well, doing a great job for facilitating the discussion and allowing me to kind of vent. Big up to you, panel, trolling me. And actually, to be fair, by normal standards, everyone in the chat has actually been quite nice to me today, which is quite a surprise.
Exactly.
Ready to get some hella smoke. Just know, though, I am waiting. I'm waiting for the moment that my team gives me confidence. But right now, I'm rock bottom like Tottenham. I'm there with my boy Expressions. We are not happy with this disgraceful football, and we're blaming Conte. But everyone, big up. Look forward to the weekend's matches. And for you Arsenal fans, I hope your team keeps doing what it's doing, because if it doesn't, you know, the Arsenal Slayer is coming for all of you, including my homeboy out there in Australia, Aussie Gooner. So just know your boys best keep winning, because the Green Reaper is waiting.
He's waiting. Aussie Gunner, I will allow you to shout out your channel, and Deji, you too, you have to shout out your channel, because I need that channel up and running, bro. You can start, Aussie.
Yeah.
Guys, of course, you guys are going to see me on YouTube, Aussie Gooner. Like, share, subscribe. It's all shits and giggles. You see me on Instagram. I'm always fucking running amok on Instagram and all that. So if you want to check me out on Instagram, I'm there as well. The wheels falling off, I don't know about that. But if they do, at least they'll give you something to smile about, bro. You know, even if you guys are playing fossil football, at least if Arsenal start faltering, you can smile.
Exactly.
Give you a bit of a smile, Deji. You know, at least you can say, at least we're not that shit.
And Ozzy, say thanks to your boy, the football capital. He's been trolling me on the gram today.
Yeah, like seriously. Football capital. He have been trolling Deji since morning. I was at work and I was seeing the whole thing, man.
Football capital, mate. I swear, what I'm coming. Is he a United
Shout
fan?
out to him.
He's a United fan, mate. He loves you right now, bro. Yeah. He loves you. He is loving you.
Football capital, shout out to you. Great guy you are. You've not come to the show. I'm looking on talking to Aussie to, link me up to get you to the show, man. Well, I share most of his stuff. He's not really like a friend or something, but, of course, you're my friend. So, and I know you do things with him. It would be nice to have him on the show. He's a great guy.
Football capital, good people, bro. Known him for years. Me and him go back, way back.
Yeah, thank you, Amy Baba, for subscribing to Aussie Gunners channel. That's the kind of love we want here. We want just go there, support these guys. Amy Baba is already a supporter of Dejispurs. Yeah. Just go to Dejispurs channel, because Deji, I don't know, for some reason, guys, he doesn't want to put that station up and running.
No,
please,
why not
you guys go there.
You know what?
You guys go there and like that channel.
I'm not going to lie.
Even if he hasn't posted anything, just go there and subscribe.
You know what? I'm going to put my
same thing with Aussie
Gunner. A disgrace. That I had planned to do a show after the Arsenal game, and I'm not going to lie, I got hit for 6. And then I had planned to do a show tonight, hopefully on the channel, and then I got hit for 6. But you know what? Let me not do the show based on result. I'm just going to set a date, and we're going to make it happen. So this weekend, we are going to go live. I'm going to speak to my boy Tony, One Touch, Aussie. I'll get in contact with all of you, see if we can get it out there, because the people are asking for it. I need to do it, and then I need to get some Spurs faithful to join me, where we can just wallow in our self-pity for our team. So yeah, I'm going to get on it and get that sorted ASAP.
Yeah, and shout out to Ola of the United family, who's a podcaster here. My brother is a little bit feeling unwell for now, but God bless you. God bless your family also. And please go and subscribe to his channel at the United Family. Please go show Ola, who also works here with me, too, some love. DWTT.
Hello, Tony. DWTT.
Hello, Tony, Deji, the AG, the chat room. Thank you, everyone. We're just about leaving. Deji, I'm waiting. United family says here, Manchester United absolutely killed Spurs yesterday. What's your thoughts on that?
Could have been 4, but anyway.
We've already finished that. So, yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Deji, big ups to you, man. Aussie, thank you for at least until now being here with me, man. God bless you. Thank you, everyone.
All good, bro. All good.
Thank you, everyone. And see you guys tomorrow for the Arsenal therapy with Manny Tankadorai. All right. Take care of yourselves, guys.
Guys.